Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's just make sure our lighting is good to get this party started right. All right. I'm sorry for the delay to get the show started this morning. I had to gather the links for you all as well as some comedy relief because we're going to be talking about Piers Morgan. So I got some articles, some videos, and a testament from his own mouth and words. So good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's get this party started. It is 6 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, which means that it is noon in England, right? Either that or 11:30 in the morning. I'm not sure, but we're somewhere in the range. I'm going to give you all a few moments to come on in. Good morning. I am your host, Tanya TKO, and I'm a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. I help you learn how to love yourselves and one another. On this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moments for what self-loving looks like through relationships. And so we have a case here this morning. So, earlier this week, we started out talking about Meghan Markle and that interview that she did with Oprah. And you all wanted a follow-up. I've been seeing some videos, but I needed to gather a bunch of videos together to be able to lay out the scenario of what has happened and what is going on. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Oh my goodness, Leanda is saying it's 12:41 a.m. Where in the world is it 12:41 a.m.? How can that be? How can we go 6 in the morning, 6 at night, plus another 6 hours? That's 18 hours. Where in the world is it 18 hours ahead? Is this Australia, New Zealand? I don't know. You have to tell me in the comments. I didn't even know. Wow, that is a huge time difference. I don't know how you have friends in the US with that type of time difference, because when you're going to sleep, they're just waking up. Leanda's saying we're in the future. I know that's right. So listen, welcome in. You all are starting to come in. I don't want to start playing the videos before enough of you get in, but then when people watch the videos, I don't want there to be a huge delay in getting started because I hate that too. So let's jump into some articles first. So for those of you who do not know who Piers Morgan is, let's get some things up on the screen for you all to take a look at this morning. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh me, oh my, here we are, aren't we? Here we are. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, this guy right here is Piers Morgan. He used to be, you see him? Oh, he's just hideous. Oh, excuse me. I don't mean to talk about God's children, but so this is Piers Morgan. He used to do some work back in the days for tabloid papers like the Daily Sun and stuff like that, the Daily Mail out in UK or something like that, right? However, he ended up on America's Got Talent. He was kind of like the crotchety Simon. You remember Simon Cowell? So he was kind of like the Simon Cowell of America's Got Talent, right? And then from there, he bounced around to a few British outlets, and then he ended up on Good Morning Britain. So turns out he used to like Meghan Markle. I'm going to read some of his own words for you, right? Look, take a look. We can't make this up. Take a look. So here we go. The name of this article is Piers Morgan criticized Meghan Markle for years, but that wasn't always the case. Let's take a look and see how he felt about her before. So I found her to be a very smart, focused, thoughtful, feisty, and confident woman. I really, really liked her. In his own words, Piers Morgan believed Meghan Markle to be the perfect princess, quote unquote. Back in December 2016, soon after it was revealed she was dating Prince Harry. He wrote in his column for the Mail online, if he were Harry, he would be popping the question pretty damn sharpish. as he was unlikely to find a better bride to keep him on his toes. After all, he knew Meghan. They met for drinks at his local London pub the week she first dated Harry. Then, according to Morgan, she ghosted him. Over the past few years, Morgan has been increasingly critical of Meghan, and to a lesser extent, Harry, culminating in him storming off UK television show Good Morning Britain after co-host Alex Beresford accused him of diabolical behavior. So it talks about his past, who is Piers Morgan. You can go and read that for yourself. This is abc.net.au. You can go and look up the rest of this yourself and read the rest of that. Let's jump into the next article, right? Because what ended up happening is he ended up criticizing Meghan Markle. A co-worker of his called him out. I'm going to play that video footage for you. And then he stormed off the air. Are you all ready to get into that? Then, listen, he stormed off the air. He came back. Good Morning Britain played the clip, but cut out cut out Piers Morgan storming off. So we're going to show you that entire clip as well. We're going to watch that together. And then we're going to just get into the nitty-gritty behind the scenes of how Piers Morgan really felt and how he felt slighted by the Duchess. Listen, we're going to get into one more article and then we're going to play the video. So as you all come in, grab a seat, grab your cocoa, your coffee, or whatever it is that you need to get you in tuned and warmed up this morning to hear this hot, juicy stuff coming off the press. Okay, so this is Piers Morgan, and he ended up quitting the show, and I believe he quit the show because of the implications that will surround around a man not being able to get a woman to like him and then bashing her relentlessly for years as a result. So it talks about misogyny, it talks about consent and stuff like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So here, London AP British talk show host Piers Morgan on Tuesday, let's make this larger for you all. On Tuesday, quit Good Morning Britain after making contentious comments about Meghan following her bombshell interview about the royal family. The UK media's watchdog said earlier Tuesday that it was launching an investigation into the show under its harm and offense rules after receiving more than 41,000 complaints about Morgan's comments about the Duchess of Sussex. Morgan's departure was announced shortly after Buckingham Palace issued, as they would say in England, issued a statement saying allegations of racism made by Prince Harry and Meghan during an interview with Oprah Winfrey were concerning. So listen, so you can read up on that. I really want to get into the videos, right? I really want to get into the videos. So let's go to the allegatory video where the man first accused Morgan. Give me 1 second. I'm getting the link together. First accused Piers Morgan of having like this vendetta because of his crushed ego by being ghosted. And Piers Morgan couldn't take it and ended up walking off the show. So we're going to play that for you right now. Let me just get the link together. Here we go. Give me 1 second. I just need to remove share screen, add the audio in, go over to the tab. Okay, here we go. All right. So if you all are ready, I'm ready. Let's see if we can make this full screen.
What has happened?
Hold on, let's get this full screen. All right. And let's scroll to about the middle because that's where it all went down. It goes down in the AM. It goes down in the AM. All right, here we go. Let me Let me know if at any time there's an echo, and then we'll get that corrected, because I don't feel like putting in my earpiece at this moment.
Relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one. And
listen, here we go. That's where he gets into his behind.
You've got a personal relationship.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back just a little bit.
Relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, and she cut you.
Come on. Let's go back.
It's going to shape a young boy for the rest of his life. So I think that we need to all take a step back. And I understand that you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this program, a number of times. And I understand that you've got a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, and she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe not mine.
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
Absolutely diabolical behaviour. I'm sorry, but Piers spouts off on a regular basis, and we all have to sit there and listen. 6:30 to 7 o'clock yesterday was incredibly hard to watch.
All right. So you see that, right? You see when he confronted him, rewind that if you need to listen to it again. He confronted him about being bitter, about being cut off, right? And then we're going to play a little comic relief for you all right now. We're going to play the Jamaican version of that exchange, because there is a Jamaican version out there. He looks like skullduggery wobbling off the set. I don't even know who that is. Listen, we're going to watch the Jamaican version of that, because quiet is kept. All right, here we go.
Time that you don't like.
All right, so let me make sure that this is up and ready. Okay, so here we go. This is too much. Okay, so let's get into the Jamaican version real quick, and then we'll get back to serious news. Here we go. This is too silly. Too silly. Here we go.
Tan, that you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this program, like a pussy one. And I understand you have a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, until she cut you off. So you can keep lying about the real reason if you want to. She don't give a fuck about you since she cut you off. And it burn your blood clean. That's why you continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this. No, sorry.
Go suck your mother, Piers.
Sorry.
Long time
Sorry,
you forget this pussy.
Sorry.
Go tell your mama and Miss Markle sorry. Fiercely. Piers chat off him out on a regular basis. And we all have to sit there and listen. You see, when work done around 7, 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to break up him clot. Just watch. Anywhere I see him, just watch.
I think we need to just all take a break.
I'm going to break him fucking neck. Fucking break.
That was too funny. I'm sorry, that was too funny. For those of you who don't understand the patois, oh my God, he was just basically just cussing Piers out and saying he was going to beat him up. That's pretty much what he was saying. That was so funny to me. He said, I want to bust in blood clot. That was so funny. Okay, so are you all ready to get back into the serious news? Okay. Let's hear from Piers's own mouth. Because people are like, oh, did she really ghost him and this and the other, right? Let's hear from Piers's own mouth. Let's hear. Because Piers himself, before all of this blew up, Piers joked about it, I guess, until it stung too deeply in his heart, right? Here we go. Let's get this on full size. All right, you all ready for this? Are you ready for this? Yeah, boy. All right, come on. Here we go.
Yeah. We had 2 hours in the pub. She had a couple of dirty martinis and a couple of pints. We got on brilliantly. And then I put her in a cab, and it turned out to be a cab that took her to a party where she met Prince Harry. And then the next night they had a solo dinner together, and that was the last I ever heard from Meghan Markle. I never heard from her again. So what happened? She ghosted me, Ryan. Meghan Markle ghosted me. Do you think she just went, I'm afraid, I really liked it. This is what hurts. No, I really liked it. We had 2 hours in the pub. She had
you heard it for yourself.
A couple of pints. We got on brilliantly. And then I put her in a cab, and it turned out.
You heard it for yourself. You heard it for yourself. He put her in a cab and she went to a party where she met Harry, and he's never been able to get over that. He's never been able to get over it. What we're going to do is we're going to listen to the 14-minute interview that Good Morning Britain put out, or the 14-minute segment, right? We're going to watch that together because it's early. We got time. It's an early day in the morning. Let's watch this together. And then you will hear him say the issue that he has with Meghan is because she cuts people off. She cut off her father. She cut him off, and she's a serial ghoster or whatnot. She cut off the British public, right? We're going to listen. Are you all ready for this? Are you all ready for this? Crystal is saying he needs to get over it. 5 damn years. Exactly. Al J is saying men don't take rejection lightly. Question is saying this is too much for the morning. I know that's right. Well, listen, it looked like you're smoking in your picture, so you're calm. You got it under control. Unless we've driven you to smoke. Unless we've driven you. Pretty Jackson is saying, just discussing. Black is saying, isn't he married? I don't even know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Piers Morgan is a married man. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Black Beauty, for interjecting that into the conversation, because I didn't even put the 2 and 2 together. He's a married man. Why is he still bitter why is he bitter in the first place? Not only why is he still bitter, but why was he bitter in the first place about her cutting him off? But let's jump into the segment. Let's watch the whole segment together and kind of get a sense for what it is that he was saying about Markle. In the segment, the Brits, they're so polite. They did not show him walking off. They edited that part out. That's why I had to show it to you from Twitter, because they haters. No, okay, maybe they're not haters, but let's watch this segment. Why is he bitter about being cut off when, listen, some people say he's journalistically bitter, but it's like, as a journalist, if she's dating someone in the royal family, why would she keep you around? You know what I mean? That's the royal family probably told her she had to get rid of him. Okay, so let's see. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he is journalistically bitter, because remember in the Oprah interview, they were talking about how if you feed information to the press, they'll be nice to you. But I guess if you cut them off and you don't maintain contact with them, they'll bash you relentlessly for years. All right, come on, let's continue going forward. Let's play the segment for you. You hear those horns?
Of finding a different way to explain, not to you, but to so many people, on why what is being said is so wrong.
Right.
I've walked into institutions as the only person of color and experienced covert and overt racism on so many occasions. And why the Meghan interview really resonates with me is because an ex-work colleague, not of this show, asked me if I was worried about the shade of cocoa that my son was going to come out.
Right.
So I fully understand the hurt that is behind all of that.
Right.
And when you're mixed race, what you find, in my personal experience, and there may be other people that may come forward and say this, is that when you are a lighter shade of black, people gain confidence and feel that they can say things to you that they wouldn't say to a black person.
That's such an interesting point.
And that is my experience of all of this.
Right. And by the way, I completely respect that. Right, and that's why I wanted to get you on the program today. It was my suggestion to have you on to talk about it.
But
right?
And thank you so much for having me on the program. I really appreciate it. But I just want you also to be aware of the power of your words. And I'm not saying that you're a racist, but what
are you saying?
Do you know what I honestly feel? I feel as though because of your previous relationship with Meghan Markle, you've sometimes...
I didn't have a relationship with
you met up with her, you knew her.
I knew her briefly.
So we joked about it on the show.
All that did was... So I'm allowed to speak.
Okay, talk.
All that did was inform me that she's a bit of a cut and run.
Right.
Throughout her life, and all her family, her father, her ex-husband, her ex-friend, they've all been cut out of her life, right? And it's an interesting observation that I happen to be one of those people.
Interesting observation. I do feel
can I finish
this situation that you are struggling.
Guys, if we can have this conversation.
You've got to let me talk.
I talk.
Right. Can we talk about the program? It doesn't really matter what
You know what frustrated me about this part of the interview is that whenever Piers heard something he didn't like and where the guy was going, he would cut him off and be like, can I talk? But the guy never got a chance to really express what it is that he was trying to say. You know what I mean? And Piers is like, can I talk? We've got to talk. You let me interject. But it's like, let the man finish his thought. Ugh, that was so frustrating. All right, let's continue.
I think of Meghan Markle. Doesn't matter whether I believe her or not. What matters is the damage that she is accused of doing to the royal family. Let me ask you honestly, on the issue of race, she has now got the whole of America and the rest of the world, frankly, looking upon the palace, the monarchy, the Queen, everyone in the royal family as a bunch of racists. And it all...
So you know what? Let's analyze that real quick. He's saying that she is making the rest of the world look at the royal family as if they're a bunch of racists. The same royal family that was traveling around to these colonized countries, looking over at the masses of color as they siphoned wealth from their land. Come on now. It's like somebody... And the thing is, far too many people in Britain don't get it because they're used to the monarchy and they have this internal like love for them, the figureheads and what they represent and the Queen and all this other stuff. But it is inherently racist for you to go over to a land of color and be like, oh no, we're going to take over your land and we're going to govern you and we're going to split up your resources and take your artifacts and put them. Look, they still have stolen artifacts from Benin and other African nations inside of the Museum of Britain, and they won't give them back. And they're like, we're going to hold on to it for safekeeping. And while we're in possession of it, it's ours. No. These people reigned terror for hundreds of years on other nations. I'm sorry, but the behaviors of Britain and the royal family are inherently, outwardly racist. Like someone asked me earlier this week whether or not I had watched The Crown and how lovely, Queen Elizabeth was and stuff. And I thought it was ironic because I actually started watching The Crown. And I watched The Crown up until the episode where this quote unquote wonderful Queen Elizabeth went over to this colonized land. Imagine the fucking hypocrisy, the fucking audacity of one nation to feel that they have the right to fucking colonize another nation. Like Christopher Columbus talking about, he discovered some shit. How you discover something where there are other people there? It's like, how do you just come up onto somebody else's land and say, we're taking over your land and you don't get a voice, a seat at the table. You don't get to consent in what it is that we do with your land because we are sovereign. We're white, we're superior, we're better, you're inferior, you don't know what the hell you're doing, and we're going to take over your land and your resources. And yes, I watched The Crown up until the episode when Elizabeth, I believe she was queen at the time, and she was very young. She went over dressed in all her white, talking about this commonwealth over there in some African nation as they ran around getting everything prepared for the queen. And she was dressed there in all her white with all these people with dark black skin all around her, waiting on her hand and foot. And I was disgusted. I stopped watching the show after that. Honestly, that is when I stopped watching The Crown. And I'm like, why is it that people don't get it? It's like we have all of these overt signs of racism all around us, here in the United States as well. Like, I didn't realize that racism was deeply embedded into the fabric of this country until I traveled to Los Angeles in 2015 and saw all of the ghettos mainly inhabited by people that were Black. And I'm like, why is it from state to state, city to city, the worst areas in the United States are all inhabited by Black people? What does that say about us as a nation that we're not questioning this? It's because racism is so deeply embedded in the fabric of our nation that we probably feel, oh, those people want to be there. We don't think about the policies and the redlining and the oppressive forces that push people and create that as the only opportunity that we say these people are relegated to this squalor, and we don't question it. I mean, think about that. Why? Why do the ghettos, why is it disproportionately Black? Why is it, and Meghan Markle talked about this, and we're going to get back to the video in a second. I'm sorry for cutting it off in the middle and going on this tirade, but some of you needed to hear what it is and enjoying what it is that I'm saying right now. If you're not, you can fast forward. But nonetheless, so why is it that we are not, do we think Black people deserve the ghettos? Do we think that Black people can't do better? Do we think that there's something inherently wrong with Black people, and that's why Black people mainly make up the people in the squalid conditions of the ghetto? I mean, Meghan Markle talked about how she felt that her coming into the royal family would be a feat of honor for the royal family because now there could be a person in the royal family that was a person of color, like the people in the Commonwealth. Why is it that nobody has put two and two together that the people of the Commonwealth, yes, were mainly people of color? Well, I'm sorry, not mainly. The people of the Commonwealth were people of color, almost exclusively. Not mainly, almost 100% of the people in the Commonwealth. And think about that, the Commonwealth, that they took the wealth from these nations. And this is why in Nigeria, that some of the places don't even in 2021 still don't have roads. But England is built up in concrete and rebar. Come on, we saw Blood Diamond when Dimon Hansu's character came out of the tube, and after he had escaped from people getting their arms and legs chopped off for diamonds, and he came out of the tube and walked up and saw this big plate glass window with the diamond shimmering in the window, the same thing that Black people's arms and foot was getting cut off for, where he had just come from. So the Commonwealth, it didn't seem like it was that freaking common. If the places that you were robbing don't have the resources that your fucking country has. So the very concrete that people are walking on in Britain, they're walking on the blood of racism on inside, embedded in that freaking concrete. So don't be like, oh, the royal family is not racist. The royal family upheld an institution of racism for hundreds, how many years? Come on now, let's continue going. Let's continue going forward. Let's continue. Talking about Meghan Markle got the world looking at the royal family as racist. I'm sorry, this is a conversation that needed to be had. And it's not her that's doing it. They did this to their damn selves by not making a change, by not sending back those artifacts. They did this to themselves. They did this to themselves. Talking about this is something Meghan Markle did. They did this, and she's taking the blame for it. They did this. Okay, let's continue going forward. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
comes down to two things that she said in the interview.
Mm-hmm.
One is something she didn't hear,
Mm-hmm.
but Harry reported back to her,
Right.
that a senior member of the royal family that
Yep.
wasn't the Queen or Prince Philip, so presumably is either Charles or William, we would hazard a guess, has made a comment to Harry about what colour skin his baby may be if the relationship progresses.
Okay, but there was concern about the way in which that question was asked.
That's my question for you. She said there was concern. Harry didn't say that. And my question for you is this, and it's a straight question I think a lot of people are asking, because you've been in this position, right? And you've been equally offended.
On the receiving end of that.
Is there a qualitative difference between somebody perhaps innocently saying to you, out of interest, if you have one parent is white, one parent is black, you know, what colour could your baby be? Let me finish. What colour could your baby be? Is there a difference between that question phrased in that innocent, perhaps, way, and somebody doing it in a tone that says, well, how dark is your baby going to be?
Well, I think
in a derogatory,
and
perhaps racist
right,
tone.
exactly. And there is a difference. But what we're getting from the interview is that it was said in a negative way.
He said that, but he didn't, did he?
Listen, stop separating Harry and Meghan. They are a team, quite clearly. A very strong team. And I do believe...
You know what? I wanted to pause right there. I wanted you all to did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm going to play it again for you. Because there is a certain level of disrespect that is promulgating through England, where people don't realize that when you disrespect the Duchess of Sussex, you're disrespecting Harry. You're disrespecting Prince Harry. Is he still a prince, or did they make him a duke? Or does he have no title now? I don't even know. So I'm going to rewind that for you, because people just don't seem to really be getting it. You could be racist all you want, but you're still disrespecting the royal family by disrespecting the wife that he chose, that he loves. So listen, he says they're a team. Here, let's go.
Did it?
Listen, stop separating Harry and Meghan. They are a team, quite clearly. A very strong team. And I do believe that she backs him up and he backs her up.
Right.
So, and like I said, tone and language is everything.
But is there a difference? Okay, but let me ask you,
when it was said to me, the key word was,
Yeah.
are you worried?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But that to me is
And
racist.
there's a big difference.
That to me is racist.
But that's what she
It is racist.
reports.
Do you think it's
She
racist?
reports
It's a legitimate
concern.
question many people have asked.
So Annabelle, this evil doll, is like, you don't know that he's a prince. Oh dear. No, I don't know, because she's the Duchess of Sussex. I thought dukes and duchesses were married to one another. I don't know if they changed his title. I just finished watching Bridgerton, which gave me a little bit of education about these titles. And I know that the Duke is a person who lords over a land, and his wife is called the Duchess. So I don't know. I'm from America. That royal stuff ain't got nothing to do with me. The white people who colonized this land came over here to get away from the monarchy. So they didn't bring that stuff over here. I know he used to be a prince. I know they didn't want to give a title to the little young quarter-racial baby. So I don't know. Did they take his title away when he left? I don't know how they do these things. So don't come at me. Just go back into your case, Annabelle, before we get Marlon Wayans to go give you the 1-2. Listen, you all can. Oh, hold on. So listen. Okay. Listen, other people don't know either. Lily is saying, I believe he's a duke. Listen, B Pinky is saying Harry is a duke. Is he? So even though both of them are sons of Charles, they're not princes, or both of, or is Charles the only prince, and then his two sons are the dukes until the oldest one becomes prince after his father becomes king, after Elizabeth the Queen passes away. Look, we don't know how this works over here. You educate each other in the comments. Let's continue going forward. I got to rewind a little bit because I missed out on some of what they said. Hold on. Let me rewind just a little. Okay. We're going to keep going forward. Okay, go ahead.
And like I said, tone and language is everything.
But is there a
when it was
difference?
said,
Okay, but let me ask
when
you,
it was said
on
to
that one,
me,
is there a difference?
the key word was, are you worried?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But that to me is
and
racist.
there's a big difference.
That to me is racist.
But that's what she
It is
reports.
racist.
Do you think it's
She
racist?
reports
It's a legitimate
concern.
question many people have asked. Is it racist, do you think? If, for argument's sake, it was William or Charles, let's not put a name to this person. We don't know. And part of the problem, and I know you agree with me about this, it'd be easier if they just said who it was. Right? I'll come to that. But is there a difference? If it was said, perhaps in all innocence, right, and they just said, oh, what colour baby might you have, without any suggestion of it being a concern or a worry if it had darker skin, would that in itself, would just the question be racist?
In itself is fine, but you have to think about how it feels on the receiving end, because what we're speculating is as to how that message.
Yeah, I don't know how it was communicated.
Right,
what I would say to you is, if it was done as a worry or concern,
we also have to take into consideration how it felt. The other thing that we also have to think about, and I've publicly said this on Twitter, Piers, I agree with you now that I feel that they should have named the person, because all it's led to is all of us asking loads of questions. And I personally am looking at the royal family as to which one could
who's the racist? Yeah,
who's the racist? But again, we have to also just take a step back. Do you know how much courage it takes to actually speak about racism, to actually call it out? Because I've been in situations where I haven't called out every single bit of racism that's happened to me based on how I've been treated or how it was handled in the past.
Because you're worried about a backlash.
And you're also worried about a backlash. And there will be people that will treat Harry and Meghan differently because they've spoken out.
Okay.
But this is the whole thing. We've got to get comfortable talking about the uncomfortable. And that's why it's important for me and you to have this conversation.
Right, but let's just not make it personal. It's fine.
It's not...
You made it personal. Well, let's move on.
You know what? It's hard because, you know what, we talk personally about, people on this show, and we give our opinions on them, don't we? So actually, sometimes it does come back at you. We have to be,
It's fine. It's just the way it was done. We can disagree about that. Let's move on. Well, it's fine. I don't think people really care too much about you and me anymore. It's like, it's not about me.
Okay, hold on. There are people who are saying that the stream is cut off. I need you all to let me know whether or not, hold on, let me check my thing. Okay, let's talk. Is the stream cut off, or the queen reached the chat? Oh, Lord, listen. Okay, they cut off this, and mind you, it's all over YouTube. Listen, let's talk. Is it cut off? Did they cut us off? I need somebody to comment. Oh, goodness. The British said no. Annabelle, was it you? Haile Selassie Rastafari, what's going on? Okay, so the stream was cut off. Let's see what's happening. It is not live. It is not live. It is not live on Facebook. So I see that the numbers are dwindling down on YouTube. So let's see. Romaine says, Tanya, people are so petty. Annabelle is back. Annabelle, listen, Annabelle is back. So Annabelle is able to watch Annabelle is on Twitter Periscope. So if YouTube has cut this off, let me check my YouTube page real quick and see what's going on with the video on YouTube. Wow. We have, wow. Okay, so the video is not showing up on my YouTube page. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to say, listen, right now at this very moment, it is 7:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 4:20 a.m. Pacific, and right now it is, I believe, 1:40 in England. If you hear this message that I'm saying out loud, I want you to put up the number 1. I want you to put up my number 1 if you can hear me. Okay, so Asha is saying, You got suspended. We can see it. AJL says we can. It's showing now. Somebody else is saying I just got suspended. Somebody's saying someone would have reported. I don't think that's how it works. Pretty saying the Black Brits are tripping. I don't know what's going on. Somebody's saying they don't want to hear the truth. Leander is saying we're back. Black is saying we're black. We're back. They're saying we cut off. When did we cut off? What was the last thing you saw? Sheila says my thing has gone off. And somebody says my page has been suspended. Okay, so we got a 1 has come through. So people on YouTube are able to hear. Leander said, but we can see you now. 12:21 in London. Okay, so it is, okay. I don't know why I said 1:40. I'm tripping about the time. But yes, so 12:21 p.m. in London. All right. Annabelle said the Queen reported me. Oh, you know, I doubt the Queen is watching YouTube. So let's do this, right? At the beginning of the video, it cut off. So RR is saying some violation for suspension. Listen, make sure that you go to tanyatko.com and click on subscribe, because I don't care about these platforms, okay? These platforms are fickle and they're run by people who want to control the message. But the revolution will not be televised. It won't even be on social media. We will have to find ways to connect with one another. Just make sure that you know how to connect with me, because I am playing footage from Britain. I don't know if they will put a copyright strike on my page. I don't know if they'll claim the footage. I really don't know. I don't know what they'll do, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. You all just need to know how to stay in touch with me, regardless of what these platforms do. Do you hear what it is that I'm saying? Go to tanyatko.com and click on subscribe and join my personal mailing list. As of this morning, there are 6,000 people on my mailing list. I believe it was, I can check the numbers, but I don't want to take time out of the broadcast to do that. Out of the 100,000 people who are on YouTube, 170,000 on YouTube, 800,000 on Facebook. There's 6,000 who are on my personal mailing list. So those 6,000 people know how to get in touch with me. Those 6,000 people are the ones that I send whenever I have my sale or do coupons, I send it to those people first, because they're the ones who are smart and about it. You know what I'm saying? I see some of the people here who are on my mailing list. So you all know. So Disco Lee says, it said the stream is suspended, not Tanya. Okay, however it is that they want to do it, I'm still not afraid. These people don't control whether or not I speak out. So okay, so Latanya says, I was watching you on YouTube by smartphone because my television says that the stream was suspended. You are now streaming on YouTube. Look, however it is that they want to do it, we're going to continue going forward talking about the story. So we were about 400 people watching live when you all started saying that it cut off. Now there are 200 people. So I don't know if they cut the people off who were streaming through TV. I don't know if they cut people off in certain areas or certain regions. I don't know, but we're going to continue to go forward. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. I think it's just too much at this point. They're keeping this story in the news cycle. All right, let's continue going forward. Are you all ready? If you all are ready, let's go forward. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit. And Ayana is saying, sickening how these dogs have to control everything. Yes, yes. This is why they're, oh my goodness. Why is saying I just subscribed? Exactly. Exactly. So, you know what? Why don't we do this? I want to see which countries we have in here. Can you put your country up so I can see which countries were cut off and which countries we're broadcasting live in? So is US in the house? Is UK in the house? What about, is Europe in the house? So we got US in the house. Okay, let's see who else we have here. We got London. We got London in the house. UK is in the house. America is in the house. US. Okay. We got the Caribbean is in the house. Okay. Okay. So it looks like the rest of Europe is cut off and other countries. I mean, okay. Okay. So we have France in the house. Okay. All right. We have Netherlands in the house. I don't know which country this is. I don't know that. Is that Ghana? But I don't see the black star in the middle. So I don't know which country that is. Okay, we got, okay. Well, it looks like we have some of Europe, the US, and a country that's red, black, and green. So Eve is saying that's Kenya. Okay, so we have some parts of Africa, US, and Europe. We don't have Asia in the house. So maybe Asia was cut off. What about the young lady who was 18 hours ahead? Is she in, what is that called? Oceania, I believe it's called. All right. Oh, wow, looks like Oceania was cut off and Asia. So we're going to continue going forward. Zoe is saying Queen Elizabeth owns the most land in the world. How can a human being, how can any entity, quote unquote, own land? Ugh. All right, let's continue going forward with the broadcast. We're going to zoom back just a little.
Me and you. And I'm not here because...
Okay, hold on. Let's get it back up on the screen. Okay. Let's go.
Personal, it's fine.
It's not...
You made it personal. But let's move on.
It's hard about a backlash. And there will be people that will treat Harry and Meghan differently because they've spoken out.
Okay.
But this is the whole thing. We've got to get comfortable talking about the uncomfortable. And that's why it's important for me and you to have this conversation.
Right, but let's just not make it personal. It's fine.
It's not...
You made it personal. But let's move on.
You know what? It's hard because, you know what, we talk personally about, you know, people on this show and we give our opinions on them, don't we? So actually sometimes it does come back at you. We have to be... You know,
it's fine. It's just the way it was done. We can disagree about that. Let's move on. Well, it's fine. I don't think people really care too much about you and me anymore. It's like,
it's not about me and you. And I'm not here because...
Well, let's not talk about me and you then. Let's move on to the second part of their charge of racism. Meghan Markle said that there was a decision taken by the palace to stop Archie being a prince based on his potential skin colour. That is completely untrue. That's just not true. Now, the damaging effect of that, plus whatever may have been said to Harry, and we don't know what it was or the context, and we don't know who said it, but it was those two things have detonated as you know, a racially charged bomb at the palace, which is almost impossible for them to refute because they don't talk in public about this kind of thing. And people aren't probably going to believe them even if they do now. But that's what concerns me, is that the first part of that allegation, we don't know any of the details or who said it or how they said it. And the second one is completely untrue. Meghan just got it wrong. Archie hasn't been prevented from being a prince because of his skin color. And that's been now believed by Americans on national television there. And that is damaging.
But again, do you know what? It's their lived experience. And
no, it's not true.
Well, Piers, it's their lived experience. And again, this is where the confusion comes in. You know, how do you sometimes identify covert racism? It's actually quite hard because it's not there.
But Alex, on that one, it's not true. There's no covert racism.
But what you're saying is there are facts.
Right.
And what Alex is saying is there is an experience and a perception of those facts that you only appreciate when you're in that situation.
No, I'm sorry. On that second part, on the first part, I agree. If it turns out, let me make it crystal clear where I stand on this. If it turns out that a senior member of the royal family, a future king perhaps of this country, we don't know who it is. I don't want to cast. The aspersions are being cast because they won't say. But they have eliminated the Queen and Prince Philip. So they've gone halfway, which I think is incredibly unfair on the ones who are left. But say it is a future king that said this in a derogatory way. We can't have a racist king.
We can't.
So that to me would be racism. But people said, but the second part of the charge, that Archie has been banned from being a prince because of his skin colour, is just untrue. It's nothing to do with racism. The fact itself on which she's based that claim is not true.
Except her perception appears to be that it might have been.
Well, it's like me saying the sky's blue outside. My perception is it's raining. You can't muck around with facts. She got the facts wrong on that. It's been demonstrated today in every paper. That fact is simply untrue. There's been no discrimination.
You know what? I didn't want to stop the thing to point that out. We can't have a racist king. You know what? I'm like, the denial is so deep. Like they don't really, it's sickening. The denial is sickening. So you all are saying something about Sharon Osbourne. I don't know what happened with Sharon Osbourne. Why don't you do this? Come to TanyaTKO.com, click on contact and send me a link. Send me a link because, and you know what? In my dashboard, I do not see my live video on. In my dashboard, I don't see this live video. So I don't know what's going on. Enjoy the broadcast while we're on it. I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know if we should end this broadcast and then start another one. But while we're here together, it shows that there's almost 300 people here. So we were at 400. It went down to 2. Now there's almost 3. So people are coming back in other places. So I don't know. So Sharon Osbourne was defending Piers. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Come to TanyaTKO.com, click on contact and send me a link. And if you send it soon enough, we have 5 more minutes on this video, and then we will we'll have 5 more minutes on this, and then we can probably start another video because I think that this one is trashed. I think this video is not going to be on YouTube. So we might as well. So what's happening? Stacey is saying it happened again, Tanya. Stream unavailable, stream suspended for privacy violations. Ugh. Oh my Lord. Yeah. So, yeah. So they've cut off the stream again. All right. So this is it. This is it. I'll post I don't know what's going to happen with this video. Let me go into my dashboard and see what's going on from my YouTube dashboard. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, honestly. Let's see. It says, what's today's date? It says channel violation warning. Let's see. Let me tell you. Let me just tell you. Okay, let me just say this to you all. Support the content creators who you love to watch. It's as simple as that. The way that you can support me is by joining my personal mailing list. Go to TanyaTKO.com and click on subscribe and put in your email address and make sure that you know how to reach me off of any of these platforms, because I do not own, I don't know who you are on YouTube. I don't know who you are on Facebook. If you want me to know who you are, you have to be in my own personal mailing list. Like I said, there's 6,000 people on my personal mailing list. And I'll tell you how many people signed up since we've been on this broadcast, the people who listen and hear what it is that I'm saying. You can also send cash apps to support your content creators who put it all on the line to make sure that you get content. So let's see. Okay, so let's see who has. Okay. So let me see. I'll give a shout out to the people who have subscribed today. Oh, look at that. I there is not one person who has subscribed to my mailing list, even though I've told you all 3 times during this broadcast. So on that, listen, you all, look, I got no comment for that. Not one person. So it's like people just do whatever you look, however you want to do it. However you want to do it. Renee says, I just subscribed. So let me take a look and see. Or maybe it just needs some. Oh, sorry, I'm looking in the wrong mailing list. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong mailing list. Let me change this. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Okay, I'm sorry. 51 people. 51 people have subscribed today. Okay, my bad. So I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong mailing list. I'm sorry, my bad. So Asha, Tina, Eve, Monica, Emily, Lolita, Jillian, Giselle, Madeline, Tammy, Ryan, Kimberly, Misty, Tracy, Amanda, Joe, Destiny, Renee, Cheryl, Finitria, Stacy, Wanda, Joshua, Vicky, Abigail. Oh no, that was Annabelle. My bad. I was about to say Annabelle subscribed to my mailing list. Okay. Pauline, Glenn, Michelle, Annis, Mitchell, Stephanie, Kristen, Yvette, Shalisa, Danielle, Kodal, and it goes on and on and on. Lucretia, Ruby, Jenna, 2 Jennas. Jenna, you signed up twice. Stacy, Gwinnett, and T Maverick. Okay. All right, my bad. So 51 of you have listened and are paying attention. So, okay. All right. 54 now. So 3 more people have come in. All right. You all the other ones who are listening and you know what time it is. You know that nothing over here is promised. So you all are the smart ones. So thank you. All right. So Yolanda is saying I have to keep resubscribing to my personal mailing list or here on YouTube. Listen. Oh, goodness. All right. So let's continue to go forward. I don't even know if we should, you know what? I don't even know if we should even look at the footage anymore because this video is trashed on YouTube. They're not going to show the video on my account. So Yolanda is saying on mine, you shouldn't have to keep resubscribing to my mailing list, Yolanda. Write to me privately because you shouldn't have to continue to. And look, Angela sent $30 through Cash App saying fire sign, love the show. So thank you very much for the $30. Look, it all makes a difference. Yolanda, you shouldn't have to keep subscribing to my mailing list unless you're unsubscribing yourself. Write to me privately and let's see what's going on because you should be on my mailing list. You don't have to keep resubscribing. So Sunshine is saying just play the audio. All right, let's do that. Let's just play the audio. Let's do that because we have about 5 minutes left on the video. So let's go.
Nation against Archie in terms of being called a prince because of his skin color, because he's not entitled at the moment to be called a prince. Just the rules of the palace set 100 years ago.
The trouble is she's explaining her experience.
Exactly, she's explaining her experience of it. And you know what? We've not walked in her shoes, so I
don't care what your experience is. It's the facts you're basing it on is wrong.
You're still entitled to perception. You know,
not about facts or not.
And that's also coming through lived
but Alex, on that one, you're not entitled to. I don't care about her feelings.
Okay, but what concerns me more is the comment about the color of the baby's skin.
Right.
Okay. We all feel passionate about different things.
Yeah.
Okay. We've not even spoken about the mental health and all.
Well, we're coming to that.
Well, we'll come to that. But it's really important that we have these conversations because what I've noticed on Twitter, particularly over the last few days, is that this interview and what's happening with the royal family. The ripple effect is huge to the point where me and you are on here and we feel so passionately about it, and it's great.
I genuinely feel,
and I want to talk about it, and I do feel as though of course, if we find out who it is, I'm sure you will be right behind me, and I'll be right behind you. Yeah, talking about how wrong it is and how
no question
whatsoever. But what I find is that people don't always want to accept that it's a possibility that something like this has happened. And this is the thing with racism, right? Racism isn't always caught on camera. Racism isn't always a black man led on the floor with a white police officer's knee in his neck. It comes in all different shapes or forms. What I want to see is the same energy that we had back in the summer right now.
Yes, but let me just put a little dampener on this, right? One of the two charges of racism, perhaps the most incendiary, that actually he was being discriminated against, because the Queen decides all the titles. So what she was basically saying is the Queen's a racist who stopped Archie being a prince because of his skin color. We know that is completely untrue. So
I don't know that the Queen's a racist. I would like to think that the Queen is not a racist.
Right.
I don't think she is a racist.
My point is this.
Okay, but he's obviously got a difficult relationship.
No, but Alex,
this is no
denial.
ordinary Piers, because
I know.
as we heard from the.
But Alex, do you accept on that point Meghan just got it wrong?
Like I said, I am not an expert on royal protocols.
Right.
I am not an expert.
But the experts who are have all said unanimously.
They've all said, but again, they've said something different. Piers,
I haven't said something different.
I'm happy to listen to both sides. Well, they feel a certain way. They feel that Archie hasn't been given a title because of the colour of his skin.
Prince William.
We know that's not true.
Well, hang on a moment. So Prince.
But you don't know that it's not true. No, think about
it.
Can we just talk about this particular fact?
If we think about the possibility that what they're saying is true and that they were worried about how dark Archie would be, it's also a possibility that they might not want him to be a prince. They might not want him to have a title. And the thing is, shock horror, these things happen in life. Unfortunately, this is the way it goes sometimes. Everyone's acting like they're fully surprised. I can't say that I'm fully surprised to hear these allegations, and it is important to realize that sometimes, you know what? We don't even know we've got these problems in our family. You might have an all-white family, and one day someone of color walks in,
I would love that.
And you find out. I know.
I love that. Christian Goddard yesterday said to me,
find out,
wait until one of your sons marries a black woman. I was like, I would love that.
And do you know what, Piers? I wouldn't be surprised if one of your sons brought home a woman of color.
What part of your knowledge of me would think I wouldn't embrace and welcome?
Piers, but the thing is, I'm not saying. That's what I'm saying. We have conversations on the show.
Okay, so I wanted to interject here because Piers cut him off. And he says sometimes racism exists in our family and we don't know it. And he says you may be surprised a Black person may walk into your family. And I believe the guy was going to say, and you may then be surprised by other family members who begin to say racist things. Like you won't know. And then Piers cut him off and was like, I would love it for Black. What makes you think I wouldn't love it if a Black person was in my family? But he cut the man off. The man never got a chance to finish his point. And I feel like Piers, like this is part of the gaslighting. All right, let's continue.
We have conversations off the show, okay? And I don't feel that you are a racist. I'm sorry. And if people say to me, Piers Morgan, I will 100% say.
I don't have a racist bone in my body.
Because I'm judging you on my experience of you, and my experience of you is not that.
Right.
Okay.
But that's why I just feel.
How does a person not have not one? That is just pure and simple denialism right there. How can a person say that they do not have one racist bone in their body? Not one, not in the pinky toe. There's not anything that exists inside of you that is like, ugh, these people, nothing. It's like the lies. Like if we can't confront the issues that exist inside of us, even if the issue is at 1 degree, 1%, then we cannot solve a problem that we refuse to see. Caitlin is saying YouTube is on some BS. Have they cut it again? Oh, Leander is saying this is ridiculous. So, and someone else is saying they tripping. So they cut the audio. Oh my God, what is going on? Oh. Chrissy is saying, wow, they cut it off until you stopped it. Cynthia G is saying they did cut it again. Good morning, Cynthia. Oh my goodness. All right. Look, I really don't know. And Monos is saying they love my blonde hair. I like it too. Thank you. Thank you. And Stacy is saying, and we're black. Oh my gosh. We only have a few more moments of the audio left. I don't know what's going on with this broadcast. I was only putting the video in for a few seconds. Okay, I'll just do the audio for the last few moments. Let me see how much longer we have. We only have 1 minute left on here, so let's continue.
Is though the stance that you were taking on it yesterday was so strong. I just feel that it was slightly clouded by the fact that you've had an experience with her, and actually what this is really about is the fact that you don't like Meghan Markle, and that's okay. And you know what? And it's okay that Meghan Markle might not be perfect.
All that did,
it's
let me
okay
just
that
stress
it might be
again.
a little bit difficult.
I did not know her that well. All it did was inform me that she has a bit of a streak in there where she cuts people out of her life and she moves on. That's fine. She's entitled to do that. But she's done it to her whole family apart from her mum. We've got her dad coming on now. He's been disowned. And she's got a track record of it, which I just personally find is informative about her personality.
All right. That's it. This was very frustrating. Shannon saying the live started so early. Yes, because, we're talking about a British issue. And the people in Britain are already up. They're 5 hours ahead now. It's almost 1 p.m. in Britain. So that's the full video right there. You all said that you were going to send me Sharon video. It doesn't look like we are able to play Good Morning Britain. My broadcast has been trashed by YouTube, and I doubt if it will play. I doubt if it will play after we get off of this, but maybe what I don't really know how to solve this, because this is frustrating. All right. What are your thoughts on this? I'm disgusted by them cutting off and taking the video off of my channel. I'm disgusted by that. I'm personally disgusted. Thank you to the people who have joined my mailing list. Let me refresh. So it's been 58 people today. So that's cool. So thank you all. I appreciate that. I'll give a shout out to the new people who just subscribed. Kelly, Tamika, Kima, Stacy, Cassandra, Chrissy. Thank you all so much for subscribing. Al Kanata is saying, focus on your wife, Piers. Exactly. Cynthia saying, I don't believe they were worried about his skin tone. The Brits have been instrumental in breeding out Black populations for hundreds of years. They knew that baby would be nothing but white. Lord of mercy, Cynthia. My goodness, really? I don't know what to say. Loves is saying, can we start another stream, Tanya? We're going to have to, because this one is trashed. We're going to have to, because this one is trashed. So I don't know what else to say. Renee is saying, I hate this happened. Frustrating, right? Yeah. So what we're going to do is we are going to end this broadcast and we're going to start another broadcast. Did you all send me the link for Sharon Osbourne? Because we'll just play the audio on that. So let me go to my email and just make sure that we have the Sharon Osbourne story, and then we'll come back out and we'll talk about that. I also wanted to show the video of Meghan Markle's father, because this toad of a man sitting in all his sweatiness is just, he's gross, but you need to see his toady grossness in order to be able to get the full effect. And if we can't play the video of his sweaty, slimy toadiness, then what can we do? All right, so it looks like there's a few different people who have sent me emails this morning. Kelly is saying, I keep subscribing. You don't have to keep subscribing. And somebody is saying, Eve says, this is the most powerful. This is not, I'm looking for the Sharon Osbourne thing. Let me mark this unread. I'm looking for the Lolita wrote and said, Oh, she's talking about another video on Facebook. So I have not gotten the Sharon Osbourne thing. Let me see if Yvette sent it. Yvette has sent something from Facebook. Let's see what she sent from Facebook. So she sent me a little girl having a temper tantrum and her father keeping her calm, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Melissa has sent me, I'm in Canada. I tried ordering your book through Amazon, but it was sold out. I went to your website. There's no options for Canada. People in Canada are buying the book every week. Oh, so nobody has sent me the Sharon Osbourne thing. So what are we going to go live to say? I don't have the new story. So Lou is saying Meghan Daddy admitted on UK TV that he sells stories about her and is blackmailing her. Send me the link. Send me the link. So I don't know what else to say. That's it. That's it. I'm frustrated and annoyed with YouTube for cutting off the stream, but I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I don't know why I'm frustrated and annoyed. I should be used to this by now. I'm just coming off of 30 days of suspension from Facebook. That's why I haven't been broadcasting over there. So it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. Oh, brother. It's like I can't even pretend to be surprised anymore. So we were going to go live again to talk about the Sharon Osbourne thing, but I haven't gotten the link for the Sharon Osbourne. People are writing to me talking about other stuff. And so I don't know. I don't know. Let me check my other inbox and see. Oh, look, YouTube sent me some messages. YouTube has not sent me any copyright notices. Hold on, I got a new message from YouTube. Oh, here. YouTube. Due to a copyright match, your stream was interrupted. Streams are interrupted when copyrighted content is detected. After copyrighted material is no longer being streamed, streams are automatically re-enabled. Okay. All right. All right. So YouTube has spoken. YouTube has spoken. Okay, so Black Beauty saying, I just sent something. Let's take a look and see. I'm just, forgive my disposition right now. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed. Okay, so Black Beauty and Leander have sent me links for the Sharon Osbourne thing. Let me see if it's on Good Morning Britain.
I bet you hate your.
Shut up. The talk, Cheryl Underwood, Sharon Osbourne discuss racism. All right. Well, you know what? Let's come back in live and talk about that. I'm gonna come back in and do another video. Let's do that. You all ready to come back in now? Give me 5. You know what? I want to go. I'm annoyed. I just want to just chill for a second and then come back out. So make sure that your notifications are turned on. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed because YouTube interrupted the broadcast, and because videos that are in the public domain are allowed to have commentary made about them. We are allowed to, it's fair use. However, and you see, I understand. I have to be understanding. I have to be understanding because I understand YouTube is a business. However, I think what they need to do is they need to create some sort of, so I've been a content creator for 13 years. I have 170,000 subscribers on YouTube. They need to create some sort of whitelist. Oh, you see how they use these words, whitelist and blacklist? Please, they need to create some sort of in list where you opt in to be considered for for commentary so that you don't come up against these strikes, because now my video is trashed. It's not appearing on my page. They've interrupted the feed and all this other stuff. We've been talking for 1 hour and 14 minutes. The amount of clip that we used was 14 minutes. So the ratio of what was streamed versus the full content of the video is less than 20%. So it's like, it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating because we're too smart to be able to not have something like this already under control. All right, so Zoe is saying her mother was in jail. Send me the link of her mother being in jail and stop making claims unless these claims are backed up. Pretty is saying this is why people are leaving YouTube. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. People are leaving Facebook as well because Facebook is on some BS. It's ridiculous. Jen is saying Piers is a major media player and Good Morning Britain is a huge show. Piers had walked off. He walked off during the argument. Lakeisha is saying you always have to put a disclaimer. No, you don't. The disclaimers don't do anything. The disclaimers don't do nothing. Tanya's saying, go away, Annabelle. Annabelle is still here. Ayana is saying, been left FB. Yeah, exactly. Facebook put me on a 30-day suspension. And the only thing that they did was they stopped their people on Facebook from being able to get my amazing content. You know, like I have 800, I almost have 1 million people on my Facebook page. So they mess them own selves up because people like me bring people to the platform. Now, as you see Tanya, right? You see that little logo down in the bottom right-hand corner? That is a Twitter logo. So like when I put people's comments up, you can see where they're commenting from. So Tanya left YouTube to go over to Twitter to see the video footage because it's like YouTube played themselves. Facebook be playing themselves. So I don't want to spend the rest of the time just Pretty is saying, Tanya, will you start your own app? What do you mean start my own app? In what way? I don't even understand the question. Start my own app to broadcast videos on? Interesting idea. I don't even know what you have in mind. Lakeisha is saying you should put all rights reserved. That does not make a difference, Lakeisha. It doesn't make a difference. Like just writing that does not make a difference. Unfortunately, just doesn't make a difference. If it made a difference, I would do it, but it doesn't make a difference. It does not. The YouTube web crawler is not crawling through saying, oh, well, we're going to let this person play copyrighted stuff because they got the text saying all rights reserved. No, YouTube needs to create a system where certain content creators opt in to do reaction and commentary videos, which are safe listed so that we don't end up with issues like this. Writing a sentence, that stuff is just, that's like those forwards that we used to send back in the days and be like, forward this and you'll go to heaven. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Latanya is saying YouTube is trying to become a major network and it's not fair to vloggers and content creators who happens to be no celebrities and be a silence for being honest and real. Yeah, that is happening. That is happening. Pretty saying website. Does it make a difference when the video is mirrored? Journalistic juice. Okay. Yes, my older friends, decade plus, found your content through Facebook, even though I share your content so often through YouTube. The video was about the young lady with the dumpster. What dumpster? What dumpster are we talking about? You know what? Speaking of videos, do you all remember that video that I did with that man who I said he had them big behind rings, and how would he wipe himself with all those rings? One of his representatives contacted me and said that he wanted to do a video with me. How funny. Per studies, YouTube was created for the small guy to do what YouTube, bullying much, I don't even understand. But remember, the people who started YouTube and who owns YouTube now are very different. So a small group of developers created YouTube in 2005. It was a way for people to broadcast themselves. Google bought YouTube and changed that broadcast yourself. And Google has been working on ways now to change YouTube into a kind of like a Hulu. So YouTube wants they don't really want vloggers on YouTube anymore. They don't really want vloggers on here. And Lakeisha is saying, do your research. Oh, that's Lakeisha, not Lakeisha, sorry. So Lakeisha, I have done my research and I have gotten legal experts involved too. This is not something that I'm just bending over and just blowing some wind out my ass. I've been creating content for 13 years. It does not matter if you write all rights reserved in the description. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we could Google it right now. I'll Google it over here for you. Since, you know what, go ahead and Google it yourself, because I don't want to take up more time on this broadcast, because we've been on for 80 minutes now at this point. And so Jen is saying, if you transform the clips, like when you did maths, maybe it'll pass by YT, but sounds like a lot of extra work, Tanya. Play the audio and you will be fine, I hope. Yeah, so you know what? Yeah, so vloggers are the lifeblood of YouTube for me. Yeah, that's part of the reason that I haven't even done any more Married at First Sight, whatchamacallit, because it does take a lot of editing and all of that to try to get the the footage in a way that YouTube will accept. And it didn't look good. And I think what we have to do is like Chrissy and Paris Milan, what they'll do is they just have like, but I do my videos live. We're live right now. So you would have to get like the still shots and all of that. So that's what I was trying to do with like playing the audio and then pull the picture up for a second, play the audio, then pull up the image for a second. I was trying to do that, but they were not having that. They were not having that. Okay. So Brown Sugar is saying a bunch of content creators should get together and create another website uploading their content. Yes. The only thing is that it requires so much bandwidth to be able to do this. Ashley is saying, yes, it costs, but it's full of content and options and won't cut her off. And he has to set up like YouTube so you can be interactive. So which website is that? I don't know who that is. Pretty says, I heard YT want more celebrities on here. Yeah, it's true. Romaine says, I sent you a message on Instagram. I have 2 Instagram pages, so it's hard to find messages on Instagram. I'm going to, we're going to come back out talking about Sharon Osbourne. I'm just going to take a few moments to just kind of rejalarme. I'm just going to just relax for a little bit because I'm just a little peeved right now. So I'm going to go get my energy together and then come back. All right. I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks. See you. Tanya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? Love yourself. Yes. And part of loving yourself is Part of loving yourself is I'm sorry, I just zoned out for a second. Part of loving yourself is finding closure and letting go of people who did not want to be in your life. This whole video was about Piers Morgan and his obsession with Meghan Markle after she ghosted him, and how he loved her at first until she cut him off, and then he just started bashing her for years. And when it was revealed that that was the reason he was bashing her, he walked off set. Then when he came back on, and then the next day he just quit Good Morning Britain altogether. And Tanya is saying, don't let them frustrate you. Speaking of which, Tanya, did you receive a book in the mail this past week? Let me know. Let me know if you received a book in the mail this past week. I sent you a little something. All right. So LaTanya saying, have a little woosah moment and just meditate. Yeah. Shannon is saying, I almost thought they ended the video live on you. They did. They did. They did. They did. All right. So listen, on that note, I'll see you all in the next video. All right. Peace.